to the video, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe, hit that share button, hit that like button after the video is over. Make sure you stay to the end because I'm about to show you guys how to hang cabinets. Cabinets. Now, hanging cabinets, I used to think that it might have been difficult, but I did it, accomplished it, killed it, and found out it's not that difficult to hang cabinet. The most important thing about hanging a cabinet is making sure that the cabinet is, for one, mounted on a solid beam, and for two, making sure that the cabinet is level going across, and three, making sure that your cabinet is properly put together. So, check this out. Right here, what we got are these cabinets that you can order online. They're called shaker style cabinets, and they come in the mail inside of a box, and you have to put them together. And the way you put it together is you would use a nailer and some wood glue, and you nail it together. You don't want to screw it together because you're going to use the nails and then use something like caulking to cover up the nail holes so you won't see the nails. But anyway, first thing you want to do, this is step number one. Step number one, you want to be able to find a stud. It's called the stud. And a stud it's either going to be a wood or a metal beam that runs vertically across the wall. Usually it's 16 feet on center. And there's two ways you can find it. The old school way, and this way, this is the way you would want to do it if you don't have a stud finding tool. I'm going to show you. All you do is simply knock on the wall. You keep knocking on the wall until you hear a solid sound. So this is hollow and this is solid. That's the difference. When you hear this on the wall, you're going to first be hearing this. This means you ain't on no stud. But when you start hearing it sound like this, that's solid. That means that it's a board sitting right behind the wall, and that's where you want to make your mark at, and that's where you want to screw it. So each time you come to a solid piece, you want to take a marker or a pencil or something, and you're going to mark that spot along the wall, okay? And it may or may not be 16 feet on center. We don't know that for sure. So once you mark the spots, now you have to measure your cabinets and make sure that your cabinet is going to extend and go to wherever you want it to go. But I've already pre-measured these cabinets, so I'm going to show you the second way to find a stud. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. The second way to find a stud is to get you a stud finder. Now, I got this stud finder off of Amazon. It's made by DeWalt, and it's the bomb because when I use the cheap stud finders, they usually don't give me an accurate middle point for me to screw onto. So what I found is that I'll end up putting more holes in the wall trying to find the stud than anything. But this one right here allows you to go across the wall, and once it finds the middle part of the stud, then it'll beep, and then you can put your pencil inside this hole and it'll mark exactly right in the center of the beam. Oh, let me tell you more about this stud finder. Now, most stud finders if you got a good one, it has a feature on it where it will tell you whether electric wires are behind the wall. So that kind of keeps you from screwing into the electric wires and causing a fire. And that's what this one does. I'll leave the link in the description. If you want one, you better buy you one because it'll put you right in the center of the stud and you don't have to make so many screw holes in the wall. Okay? And the way you would use it is you would put it on the wall and you drag it across. And when you hear it beep, that means that you're in the center of the stud. See, now I'm in the center, and that's where I will make my mark. And the cool thing about this one is it has little arrows on it, and it'll tell you whether you need to go right or left once you hit that beam. So we got a beam here and a beam here. being here. Being here. So once we mark all of the beam locations, then we're going to be ready to set up everything. So after you've marked all your stud locations, now you can get started with hanging your cabinets. Now, it's two ways to make sure that the cabinets are level. The first way is to get you a long leveler, put it on the wall. You will measure the top and the bottom of your cabinet, and then you will mark it on the wall, and then you will take that level, and you will make a line all the way across the wall, and that will be your end point for the bottom of your cabinet. And if you don't want to do it that way, let me show you another little trick. You need to get one of these babies. This is called a self-leveling cross laser. And what this does is it automatically puts a level line across the wall, so you won't have any choice but to be level. And there's another trick that I'm going to show you guys with this. So whenever you get ready to put the cabinets up, and if you're doing it by yourself, you're gonna want to get a piece of wood, preferably like a furring strip, and make sure that it's as straight as possible, because we're going to use that as a ledge to help us hold up the cabinet when we put it on the wall. I'll show you. All right, I'm back. Now this is what I was talking about when I was talking about a furring strip. It's basically those skinny pieces of wood that you see in the Home Depot. They're usually in pine, and sometimes they might be pressure treated. But this is all you need to help you to hold up the cabinet once you start to install it. So we need to figure out where exactly do we need to install this, or how high it should be. So what we need to do is we need to find out what the height of our cabinet is. So let me show you. I'll be right back. Well, anyway, you have to find the height of the cabinet. So in this case, our cabinets are going to be going across like this until it reaches the end. So the height of it will be to measure it from here to here, and that will give us the height. And these are 12 inches high. So since we know that our cabinets are 12 inches high, and if we want to take it from there and go across, we want to measure from here to here, all the way down to 12 inches, and mark it here at 12. And this is where we would start our stick at, and bring it all the way across to the other side. So if I mark it here at 12 inches, and if we want to go completely across to the other side, and make sure that our cabinet is level, we will use this leveler, and then make sure we push it until we see the bubble go to the center. Okay? And we're going to mark it on this side. Make a couple marks. And that'll be where we install our stick. So like I was saying, now that we got our measurements and everything, now we want to put the cabinet together. You can order these cabinets online, link in the description. I'll fast forward through the assembly process so you guys won't be too bored. I know you want to hear my jokes. I know somebody's thinking, where's your razor blade? You don't have a razor blade. You should be prepared when you're making a video. Well, how about I didn't prepare to make a video? I just pulled out the damn camera and just started doing some shit. Excuse my profanity. Feels like Christmas morning. I remember when I was a kid, my best Christmas present in the world was the Hulk Hogan weight set. I had a Hulk Hogan weight set. I was a big Hulk Hogan fan. What you gonna do when Hulkamania runs wild on you, brother? But I remember opening up that box and it felt like this. Felt just like this. The good old days. Yeah. Got that part out. They got this thing wrapped up like a mummy. Wrapped up like a mummy. I sure need a razor blade though. Go ahead, say it. Told you so. Should have had a razor blade. Go ahead, comment, people. Tell me I need a razor blade. You should have had a razor blade with your video. Yeah, I know. Alright. Woo, smells like new wood. This is the cabinet. It's pretty. Smells good. Smells good. Here's the front side of it. It's a shaker style cabinet. Pretty nice. All right. And now it's time to put this baby together. Yeah. Here's the shelves. This one came with shelves. My other ones didn't come with shelves. Like this. I like this. And it comes with instructions. But if you're a man, you don't need instructions. We just need to look at it and put it together and hope it stays together. And if it doesn't stay together, we're going to just say it was cheap. We don't need the instructions. All right. So these are cool. It got the little dials in there. You know, keep it together. All I gotta do is just add a little bit of glue on here. A little bit of glue on here. Okay. So I need these instructions. All right. So here we go. Oh, excuse me. So basically everything is, they don't have no type of labels on here. Everything just says A, B, D, E. Okay, I'm gonna read these instructions and I'm gonna cut you back on. These are kind of cool. They got like little wooden dowels and it sticks into the holes like this, which is cool. And then I would just run a couple tacks in there just to keep it together and some wood glue. Oh yeah. Let me show you guys some good wood glue. This is the best stuff right here. It's called Tight Bond 2 Premium Wood Glue. Water resistant interior and exterior. But this stuff is good. What you want to do is you want to coat each part that's going to be together. And before you put it together, make sure you put it together real tight. Maybe you can use some tape or a clamp if you got one, just to hold it all together. But the wood glue, it adds extra strength to the entire side of the cabinet. It's like putting 10 nails across the edge of it. And it's required that you use that, because if you don't, the nails could vibrate loose, or the weight of the things inside the cabinet could cause the cabinet to come loose. Now, these wood dowels, they do stop it. They do add a little bit of strength, but the wood glue, the tight bond, this is what keeps everything together. It seals the deal. It seals the deal. Okay, now I see how it goes together. Check it out. This is an easy put together. On these, this is the back part. The back part has these grooves right here that slide into these grooves. And this groove It's a top one that looks like this, and it's a bottom one that looks like this. And the corners of it just slide in there. So before you slide it in there, you want to make sure that you lubricate it. Make sure you lubricate it with a little bit of a little bit of tight bond glue. You lubricate it first, and then you put the panel inside. It slides right in. Everything is snap and go. Snap and go. So I'm gonna do that right now. You want to make sure that when you're using wood glue on cabinets that you're careful with it, because you don't want to get it on the cabinet itself. So you just need a little tiny bit. You don't want to fill up that channel, or else it's gonna just ooze all over the place. And as you can see, I didn't fill the channel up. I just put it in there generously. Sorry for the camera angles, y'all. I'm using my laptop. Ooh. You see, I'm looking like I'm double jointed, but I'm really not. I'm getting too old for this. But anyway, you're going to put it along the bottom of this also. See, you don't want to put it on here too thick. Just generous. Okay, just like that. So you don't have to immediately put it on. Just kind of wait until it get a little bit tacky. So by the time you get the glue into all these grooves, it'll be tacky enough to put together. So I'm gonna add this stuff to this groove here as well. And if you get a little bit on the cabinet, which is probably what's going to happen, unless you're super careful, you could just wipe it off with a rag, a damp rag. Just have a damp rag handy. Okay. We got one more over here. Just a generous amount. But if you get a little bit messy, you can always clean it up. Okay, so now, yeah. So now I'm gonna use your finger to smear it if you want, or use a piece of cardboard or a paintbrush just to get it on there. I usually don't like using my finger with chemicals and stuff, but I am this time because I don't feel like going to get a piece of cardboard. Alright, so now that I got it glued and lubricated with the tight bond, I'm just going to stick it in there. It just goes right in the groove. Easy. I'm just going to cut it off and show you guys after I done put it together. It's simple. It's not hard. You can do it. You can do it! Booyah! Finished. Finally got it together. Got everything glued. Didn't put any nails in it yet because I want to kind of glue it together before I nail it together. So, in this kit, it comes with hinges. It comes with the pins to hold the shelves up. These are the hinges for the doors. Pretty nice, soft close. Screws. But, okay, here we go. And these little things here, these are what hold the shelves on. It's a little L-shaped pin type deal. And you just stick them inside of these holes here. And the shelf sits on here. One on this side and another one on that side. Like this. And this is what the shelf will sit on. There's 4 of them for the 2 shelves that I have. But right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that everything is sturdy. So I'm going to put the shelves in there to support it, while I put a little bit of weight on top. Not a lot, because you don't want to cause it to bend, but you want to put like an equal amount of weight on both sides so that it'll be solid when it glues itself together. Know what I'm talking about? But yeah, and then install the brackets, and this is how you install the brackets. You just simply take this round part here, stick it inside of this hole, then you would just screw it on, then you would screw your shelf doors on the shelf. So I'm going to put these on really quick. Then you just line it up so that the holes line up. Hole, see the hole? Then you just screw it. And you just screw it on down. Come on down. It already has the holes there, so you don't have to line anything up. See, the hinges go, let me show you. The hinges go, see this hole right here? 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where you align your hinges up, and you'll be pretty much done. Next step is to install the cabinet. So be back. So now that we got the cabinet put together, now we want to make sure that the back of the cabinet is going to be covering the spots that we made the marks. So, a trick that we can do is we can use our laser and line our laser up with the line vertically and leave it there, and then when we put our cabinet up, that laser is going to show us exactly where the beam is. And I'm going to show you an example of it now. I'm going to set the laser up. Oh yeah, you want this laser, the link is going to be in the description. But you basically just cut it on and set it on something, and then you put it on the marks that you made. The mark is just right there. So let me cut the light off so you guys can see it a little bit better. So now that we got it on the mark, when we put our cabinet up, boom, it's going to be covering our marks. But the laser is still going to be here. So we're going to know exactly where to put the screw at. And I'm going to show you. As you can see, put up the cabinet, and we still see exactly where our laser line is. And it's not actually on the cabinet. So we're going to have to mount this cabinet in a different area, or see if it's another beam somewhere where we can mount this cabinet. Probably. But let's say, for instance, everything lined up. You just put the cabinet up, and on that red line is where you're going to screw it. Simple. So I'm going to get my laser line. I meant my beam finder. Then we're going to just go across here and see if we can find something to screw onto. Oh shit, got one right here. Excuse my French. Oh, actually we didn't have one. Let's see. Oh, that is actually one right there. So what we're going to do is we're going to mark it on the wood once we get it over it. See if we can find it again. Can't find it again. So in a situation where you can't find the beam, sometimes you might have to cut out the wall. Make sure that you cut within the area where the cabinet is going to be so you don't have to do too much prep work to get it to look back normal. But you're going to have to cut into the wall, add a piece of wood inside of here, and that'll give you something to screw on to. So that's what I'm going to do, and that's what it is. All right, I'm back. So what we need to do now is we need to add a board down here that's going to help us to hold this cabinet when I put it up here, because it's only me. I don't have no assistants. So as the bottom board holds it up, I'm going to use this clamp to hold it together from the insides. So that'll be what holds the board, the cabinets flush together so I can screw it with a screw. So here we go. Put it flush up underneath here. And screw it to the wall. Okay. Then you're going to take your level. Leveling it is the most important part of this whole job. It needs to come up just a little bit. I think because this wood is kind of warped. You could even use the level to do this part. But once you get it level, then you're going to take your cabinet. First you want to get you some screws. Some white screws here. Preferably white, because it's going to be the inside of the cabinet that I'm screwing to, and I don't want to see the screw. So basically you're going to take the cabinet and you're going to rest it on top of this wood ledge, and that's what's going to keep it held up, and you don't even need another person. So you're going to add this clamp to it so that we'll press the two cabinets together. Like that. So after you get it level, flush up top, you're going to run a screw through the side of the cabinet. Preferably you want to do it like along the back side of the cabinet hole. I'll show you a close-up of it after I get this one in. And also, it helps if you pre-drill these holes before you get it up here. And that screw will hold the two cabinets together like that. You want to add one to the bottom. You want to make sure that you place these kind of like behind the hinge, because that'll allow you to hide it a little bit more better. Now that's up there pretty solid. And you want to add two more to the back. And once you got it up, you can remove the piece of wood. And that's how you hang the cabinet. Done. All you gotta do is add your doors back.
get that up, then that's when you're gonna add your shelves. That'll be the last thing you add. Well, that'll be the second to last because you're gonna want to put your doors on too. So just gonna put the shelves in like this. They just stick in there. Probably show you a closer up. They go into this piece right here. So they just go into these holes here. Then you want to slide the shelf in like this. Make sure you press it in there. Cabinets in. Got that part, now you put on the doors. So with the doors, you probably will want to take the hinges off. I don't know why I put them on. As you can see, they got a freaking place where you can line it up at. And it lines up like that. You just put the screws in there. So you're gonna do that same thing for the top and the bottom. So once you get it screwed to the cabinet, now it's gonna be easy for you to just stick these holes inside of the hinge because it's round and it's slotted. And it kind of holds itself in here so that you can attach it. Okay, once you got all that screwed up, so now we got the cabinet up. Closes nicely. Soft close, you don't even hear them close. Boom! And we just now finished up the cabinets. As you can see, everything working. Open.
close. Very soft close, baby. Soft close. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. But we finished with this one. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you share. I hope I helped somebody out today. I know it was long, but hey, what can I say? Hit the subscribe, hit the share, and I'm out of here. Yo!